expert Leanne Allaire-Perot is here to show us some DIY projects to bring the cafe core trend into our homes. Hey, Leanne, how are you?
So well.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I am so amped that you are here. You're so good at what you do.
Oh, geez, thank you. Am I blushing?
No, I was honestly looking good, looking good.
You're so sweet, thank you.
So first up, before we get into the actual DIY, tell us a little bit about what the cafe core trend is.
So this is something that a lot of people have been buzzing about, and it's interesting because it's really tapping into the sensory experience that so many of us have when we walk into our favorite cafe or coffee shop. We're hit with that incredible aroma of fresh brewed coffee. There's sometimes like that lo-fi buzz of music in the background, warm lighting. It's really all intended to create comfort, relaxation, and really pause in the moment.
Yeah.
And for me, I love coffee, but coffee is more about the experience of drinking it than the actual coffee itself.
Yes.
So cafe core as a vibe really is about, it's not so much the decor style as it is the lifestyle and how we bring that sensory element into our home. And it's actually not that hard to do. I'm not suggesting that anyone open a cafe in their home.
Oh, good, because I cannot do latte art.
You don't even need to be good if you can like put a pot in and click go and get that smell going. That's like your first step to success.
Amazing.
But for me, I wanted to take a little corner that was underutilized in my family room and create this same vibe of a coffee shop in my own home.
Oh, I love that.
And it's a visual cue to take that moment to relax and just enjoy the experience of sipping my coffee.
Oh, I like this idea.
Yes.
This is very good. So you started off with a wood cart.
I did.
That you upcycled into almost like a little cafe station.
Exactly. So I had a bar cart that quite honestly had been collecting dust in my basement for a very long time. And I always had this idea that I wanted to repurpose it. And I didn't really know into what. So this was a great excuse. I hopped on the train of the cafe core vibe. And I transformed it. And this is the funny thing with DIY projects. I spent years procrastinating about painting it.
I'm glad you're saying this because that feels like my energy.
Right?
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I used a cabinet transformations coating kit, and I did this project in a day.
That's all it took?
It took me one day to totally make over this piece and really customize it and make it unique for my space. And now it is truly my little cafe core coffee station in my own home.
Like, look at how cute that looks. It's so adorable.
It's cute, right? Well, and I think the other point with this is so many of us have either an unused corner or even a dining room with a buffet that just collects dust. Turn it into a functional space by setting that up again as your little like cafe at home.
Oh my gosh, Leanne, I absolutely love that. So there are some things going on there that I feel like you're going to teach us how to do.
Well, I wanted to create a couple of fun projects that we could do together. So you're going to get your hands dirty today. I brought you a pair of gloves.
We're good, okay.
And really, these projects are a little like on the nose in the sense that I'm actually using coffee beans to create these.
Cute.
To get the vibe across. But they're very easy to do. And I think just it's like really DIY is all about customization. So we're going to start with making a set of coasters. And I'm just going to reach over here and show you that I made these really adorable little epoxy coasters.
These look so high-end.
Right?
Yeah.
So not only did I make the coaster, but I also purchased the mold to make the little holder for them. So this also doubles as an incredible little gift. If you wanted to make a batch of these to gift people. You could also, I should just note, put pressed flowers in there. You could encapsulate anything, but coffee beans is the whole...
That's the vibe today. That's the vibe.
So we're going to start with these little molds that I purchased online. I'm using a 2-part epoxy. Now, regardless of what epoxy you use, you want to really make sure you're reading the instructions because this is where the mathing comes in.
The mathing.
I know you're going to be so good at this because this is basically baking a cake. It's like 2 parts to this, 1 part to that.
Ratios.
So exactly. It's science. So I've already measured out 2 part A to 1 part B. You're going to put all of those into the cup there for me. And give it a good stir. And this is what will activate the epoxy that over 72 hours of curing will get nice and hard and clear.
Very cool.
I have already mixed some here, so we are good to go. And 5 minutes of mixing. Already put in some elbow grease here, so we are ready to do the pour. Do you actually want to do the honors?
Oh my gosh, I would love to. I thought you'd never ask. Okay, yes, let's do this.
So I'm going to pass you this, and we're going to start with just the clean mold. Now, what I want you to do is just put in a very thin layer on the bottom of the mold, and then you can actually, that's absolutely perfect.
Nice.
And then you just want to make sure that there's a good coating, because that's going to almost work as the glue for adding in some coffee beans. Oh, look at, she's so
I know what we're doing.
What a pro.
Listen, I'm feeling good about this DIY. All right, so it's almost like you get the base so then you don't have the raw coffee beans sticking out.
That's exactly it. You nailed it, Mary. So if you even want to grab some coffee beans, and I, in fact, wanted to level up this project a bit and decided to spray paint some coffee beans in a gold mirror effects.
Man, of course you did. This is your energy. I love this.
Right? So a little bit of glam. And then you're going to put that aside and let that actually harden.
Okay.
And then the last step would be to come back through with our epoxy. This is perfect.
Yep.
And we'll just pour this right over top. And this puts a separate layer that then will encapsulate all of the beans right within that so that it's really set in there and you get that, ultimately, that smooth finish, if I come back to this, that there's like no ridges there.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Right. Really, really simple to do.
Yeah.
The one thing I should note is the power of a heat gun. And if you don't have a heat gun, use a hair dryer. Once you have that second layer on, hit it with a little bit of heat, and that'll take any bubbles out of the epoxy for you.
Super smart. And you feel like really power tool vibes, which is always fun. I'm very into that. I like that your DIYs make me feel strong.
Right. Well, you know what? DIY is all about confidence in a lot of ways. You just have to dig in and roll up your sleeves and be ready to make something cool.
And go. That is so cute. I love those coasters. Perfect for a gift.
Thank you.
Now, I am smelling coffee.
Right?
And it's given me very good energy. So what are we doing over here?
Okay, so I wanted to, again, the sensory experience is the smell. That's a huge part of coffee.
Yeah.
Now, we don't always have a pot on ready to go. So I wanted to make a coffee candle.
Okay.
And in theory, I was like, okay, I'm going to start by ordering some wax online, which isn't inexpensive, I have to note. And then get all of my ingredients. I ordered a little candle making kit with the wicks and the little like kind of holders here for the wick to stand up straight. And then I realized I also needed dye to dye the candles. It became a bit of a science experiment and quite honestly expensive.
Yeah.
And I have to give credit to my husband who said, why don't you just go buy a brown candle and melt it?
This is a genius energy. Yeah.
So I went to the dollar store and for $2, I got an unscented candle in the right coffee color that I then just melted down. So I've already melted some with a double boiler method here.
Oh, right on.
So very affordable. And this is great if you're just making like 1 or 2 candles, or you can buy a bunch of these affordably and make a big batch. So you can go ahead and pour that in. So just, again, double boiler method on my stovetop to melt the wax. I like filling this up about 2/3 of the way. Yep, you're getting right to that point.
There you go.
That's amazing. We're going to then add in some coffee scent. I will also say DIY is a lot about trial and error.
Okay.
I saw online what I thought was genius idea to mix in instant coffee with the wax to give the authentic coffee smell. Did not work. Looked like dirt.
Okay,
The backup plan was online to buy some coffee-scented essential oil.
Nice.
So I like
well, thank you for doing that for us.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
My tears become your joy, essentially, in this situation. So I like to be liberal with the oil.
Yeah.
I then put all of these aside and let them dry, and we get, look at how beautiful the coffee color is.
I love it. It's like a milky coffee.
Right?
Delish. Yes.
And then I simply took a white pillar candle, again from the dollar store, melted that down, and you're gonna do my little foam top off for me
gosh. See, I can do this latte art. This is something I can do.
This is the latte vibe. And then to finish it off, we are just going to add in some of the coffee beans, which will float on the surface, just keep them away from the wick. And when you leave that to the side to dry, you get this really adorable, on-the-nose, coffee-smelling candle.
It smells so good.
In the mug, right?
This is
very
so
cute.
Again, perfect for your own little corner and perfect for gifting.
You got it.
Leanne, I have never felt more successful doing a DIY.
It's all the confidence.
Yes. Fantastic job. Thank you so much for
Thanks,
being
Mary.
here. Welcome
Loved
to the
it.
show. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.